Look at the average guy. He's got his savings account. He's got his 401k. And he sleeps like a baby thinking he's investing. Cute, right? In reality, he's just volunteered to be the bottom feeder in a food chain that's actively trying to eat him. You think the bank is your partner? Please. You're just their interest-free ATM. They take your cash, gamble it on the wildest casino in the world, and pay you back in peanuts. And you call that wealth management. So if you want to know why your safe money is currently being shredded by inflation and institutional games, keep watching. We're about to peel back the curtain on the greatest financial heist you never knew you were part of. Here's how the scam goes. You park your money in a savings account at 0.5%. The bank takes that same money, leverages it to the moon, and lends it to someone else at 8%. Or throws it into some risky tech bets. They don't need your permission, and they definitely don't care about your retirement goals. They're running a heads I win, tails you get bailed out operation. If they win, they buy a yacht. If they lose, well, they're systemically important. So your tax dollars pick up the tab. It's not banking, it's predatory design. Why am I telling you this in 2026? Because the game is rigged, but the rigging is starting to fray. For decades, the US dollar was the only game in town. Every transaction on Earth had to say hello to New York. But look at the central banks now. They're hoarding gold like it's going out of style. Let's look at the numbers. If you track the reserve data from the last 3 decades, you see a trend that the mainstream media is desperate to ignore. Look at the 2026 projections. Central banks aren't just diversifying, They are systematically decoupling. They've realized that if your entire national wealth is denominated in a currency that can be switched off with a single keystroke, in a New York office, you aren't really independent. Look at the USD to CNY exchange rate trajectory I've been tracking for this year. It's not just market volatility, it's a fundamental shift in how global trade is pricing itself. The system is fragmenting in real time. When you see central banks moving away from the dollar, they aren't guessing. They're protecting their balance sheets against a reality that the average saver hasn't even begun to comprehend. Why? Because they know the system is fragmenting. And while everyone else is still asleep, the real players are moving their chips. They know that the era of one balance sheet to rule them all is over. So, do you pull a doomsday and bury your gold in the backyard? No, don't be dramatic. You start building optionality. You stop betting on the banker's mood and start betting on assets that actually exist. Commodities, tech, stuff with inherent value. These things don't care about the next Fed press conference. It's about building a portfolio that isn't just a hostage of one balance sheet. If you think I'm just fear-mongering, look at the reserve data from the last 3 decades. The numbers are screaming for attention, even if the mainstream media is still whispering. I've put together a full breakdown on how I'm reallocating my own exposure for the rest of this year. It's in the link below. Don't be the last one to wake up. See you in the next one.